Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island. The team finds strong evidence of a pre-Columbus visit to the island. The Curse of Oak Island team was still in Italy for this week's episode, and they found strong evidence of a voyage by sailors close to Templar Knights to the area of Oak Island nearly 100 years before Columbus reached America. Rick Lagina and the guys were in Italy to research the long-held theory that members of the medieval order of Templar Knights hid treasure and ancient Christian relics on Oak Island. The Templars had been a powerful order charged with protecting Christians in the Holy Land, but at the beginning of the 14th century, they fell from favor and were persecuted and disbanded. The guys now believe that the Templars transported a quantity of treasure from Jerusalem, through Italy, France, and Scotland, and finally deposited it on Oak Island, long before Christopher Columbus's infamous voyage. Rick and the guys met up with Professor Andrea Piribalent at the American University of Rome, where they learned about the voyages of the Zeno brothers, who many believe traveled to North America in the 1390s. Piribalent, an expert on pre-Columbian voyages to America, explained that Antonio and Niccolo Zeno were two merchant sailors from Venice who sailed up to Scotland and the Faroe Islands in search of trade. Did a 14th-century Scottish Templar knight sail to Oak Island? The Zeno brothers then met up with and began working for the Scottish prince Henry Sinclair, who was known as a Templar knight sympathizer. Some historians have previously credited Sinclair with traveling to North America with saved Templar treasure. However, Piribalent produced a map created by a Zeno descendant in 1558 which showed the Zeno brothers' voyage, and incredibly the map shows an edge of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. The professor also revealed another map from the late 17th century that actually credited Antonio Zeno with discovering Canada. I saw this as clear evidence that individuals connected with the Templar Knights could have visited Oak Island in the 14th century. The Oak Island team wasn't finished there though. They headed to an old Templar church in the town of Viterbo to examine the symbols on the walls. Here, they came across a carving of a cross with 4 dots, similar to the infamous Echo stone. The Echo stone, found on Oak Island in the 1920s, was thought to be a marker and was so called because it featured 2 symbols that looked like an H and an O, with a cross and 4 dots in between. Templar Knight expert Gianluca Di Prospero told the guys that the cross with the 4 dots symbol was used by the knights to indicate ancient relics were placed nearby. Alex Lagina says the HO stone could be a Templar marker. Alex had a brainwave when he found a carving on a pillar that read HIC, and was informed that hic means here in Latin. The younger Lagina noted the similarity of the carving to the one on the HO stone, and speculated that the Oak Island stone may actually read, "Here is Templar treasure." It's a fascinating theory and definitely one that will have to be further explored. Meanwhile, back on an increasingly rain-soaked Oak Island, winter is rapidly approaching. The Dumas Mining Company finally reached and secured the bottom of the garden shaft. Marty Lagina and Charles Barkhouse traveled 82 feet down to the bottom, where they were both blown away by the excitement of actually getting below ground in the money pit area. Marty said, "The treasure hunt begins now." In the early dawn of a crisp October morning, the determined crew of the Curse of Oak Island stood ready for another day of digging, exploring, and uncovering the secrets buried deep within the island's soil. With the roar of excavators and the hum of anticipation, they gathered around the latest site of interest, a promising stretch of land that had yielded intriguing artifacts in the past week. Rick and Marty Lagina, the brothers leading this quest, exchanged a hopeful glance. Their obsession with Oak Island's mysteries had led them through years of trials, triumphs, and tantalizing hints of lost treasures. Today, however, felt different. There was an electric charge in the air, a sense that they were on the brink of a groundbreaking discovery. Focus of their current efforts was an area known as Lot 21, a section of the island that had previously given up relics of various eras, but nothing as groundbreaking as what they hoped to find today. With the team's geoscientist, Dr. Ian Spooner, analyzing soil samples and the archaeologist, Dr. Miriam DuPont, meticulously brushing away dirt from recent finds, the site was a hive of activity. Over here, Miriam's voice sliced through the morning's quiet bustle. The team hurried over, eyes wide with curiosity. At her feet lay a fragment of carved stone, etched with symbols and lines that were unmistakably not of European origin. Miriam carefully lifted the artifact, her eyes glinting with the thrill of discovery. These carvings, they're reminiscent of the script used by the Taino people of the Caribbean. This predates Columbus by several centuries. A wave of excitement and disbelief washed over the group. Could it be, had they just stumbled upon evidence that pre-Columbian explorers had set foot on Oak Island? The implications were staggering. The history books could be rewritten. Rick knelt beside Miriam, examining the stone closely. If this is Taino, then it suggests contact between this region and the Caribbean long before Columbus. We need to find more. The team's pace quickened, their movements fueled by a mix of excitement and urgency. Hours passed in a blur of digging, sifting, and analyzing. Each new find seemed to build upon the last, a shard of pottery here, a piece of woven fabric there, all pointing to the presence of a civilization far removed from the European settlers typically associated with the island's history. Then, as the sun reached its zenith, Marty's shovel struck something solid yet hollow. The distinctive thunk echoed across the site, drawing everyone's attention. With careful precision, they unearthed a wooden chest, its surface weathered by time but intact. The chest's lock was a simple mechanism, one that Miriam was able to pick with ease. The lid creaked open to reveal a collection of artifacts that took their breath away. Intricately crafted jewelry, tools made from bone and stone, and a collection of scrolls wrapped in animal hide. The scrolls were covered in a script that Miriam immediately recognized as Taino. These scrolls could be invaluable, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. They might contain records of journeys, maps, even explanations of why they came here. Dr. Spooner stepped forward, his analytical mind already racing with possibilities. This changes everything. We need to preserve these scrolls immediately. With the right technology, we can read them without damaging the fragile material. As they carefully cataloged their findings, the significance of the discovery began to sink in. The Taino artifacts indicated not just a visit, but potentially a settlement. Theories flew among the team. Had these early explorers come in search of new lands, or perhaps they had been shipwrecked and found refuge on Oak Island? Rick couldn't shake a growing sense of wonder. If the Taino were here, who else might have visited this island before it became a legend of hidden treasure? What other secrets does this place hold? The crew worked tirelessly over the following days, uncovering more evidence that supported their astonishing find. Analysis of the scrolls revealed detailed maps of the island and the surrounding regions alongside records of trade and interaction with other indigenous peoples of North America. News of the discovery spread quickly, capturing the imagination of historians and archaeologists worldwide. Theories were proposed, debates ignited, and the Lagina brothers found themselves at the center of a historical whirlwind. The curse of Oak Island had delivered something far more valuable than gold or jewels. It had unearthed a new chapter in the story of human exploration. One evening, as the team gathered around a fire, reflecting on the incredible turn their journey had taken, Marty spoke up. "This is what we've been searching for all these years, not just treasure, but the truth. We're rewriting history." Rick nodded, his eyes fixed on the glowing embers. And who knows what else is out there, waiting for us to find. Oak Island still holds many secrets, but now we know there's more to this mystery than we ever imagined. The discovery of the Taino artifacts and scrolls became a beacon of inspiration for the team. It reaffirmed their belief that Oak Island was a crossroads of cultures, a place where the past had left its indelible mark. As they continued their quest, the curse of Oak Island transformed into a blessing, a journey of discovery, revealing the rich tapestry of human history hidden beneath the island's enigmatic surface.